Hi there, welcome to my pretend cooking show. My name is Dina Mitchell and this is my kitchen. Prego, cream cheese swirled pumpkin bread. One bit of advice, double this recipe because this will be gone quickly. I'm also going to give you a recipe in the description for pumpkin butter. Super amazing on this. All right, let's get started. You're going to need one whole bowl, and I've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees. So let's start off. I am going to get 140 grams, or actually just a half a cup of the pumpkin butter. And the description's super easy. Just throw the ingredients in a pot, bring to a boil, and then turn down for like 20-30 minutes. So I am going to tear this out to zero, and I'm looking for 140 grams or a half a cup. And this has such a unique flavor. If you don't want to make this, alternatively, you can just do pumpkin puree, which I have here, and I've made my own, of course, and we're gonna do 106 grams or a half a cup. And I love using my scale so I just don't have to dirty any other dishes. Okay, now I'm gonna do a half a cup of melted butter. You can do coconut oil or vegetable neutral oil as well. I like the taste of the butter in here, but dairy-free, go coconut oil, I suggest that. And then a half a cup of maple syrup, and I have great maple syrup from my friends in Canada. I love this brand. Okay, and that's 150 grams. And now we need 2 room temperature eggs. And these are large eggs. And I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm gonna give that a whisk. This bread is so good, especially with the cream cheese. So hard to resist. And then with the pumpkin butter. I wonder how this would be in French toast. Have you ever taken banana bread or any kind of breads and made it into a French toast? I bet you this one would be pretty yummy. Okay, so I've got this fairly blended with a whisk, and I'm gonna add 180 grams or a cup and a half of all-purpose flour, or I made the first one with gluten-free flour. I made it with better batter. It was perfect. You cannot even tell the difference. I'm also gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and this will help with the rise. And a half a teaspoon of baking soda. If you use gluten-free flour, make sure it has xanthan gum because you're gonna need it in this. And I'm additionally gonna add 1 teaspoon. I know what this is. I'm gonna use my hand. Of pumpkin spice. And 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I like this extra flavor of cinnamon in here. That's all in. And a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm gonna give that a good whisk. So easy to make. Anytime you get to just throw everything in one bowl and throw it in the pan, it's great. I'm gonna give that a good whisk just to make sure, because I had all the baking powder and baking soda in there, and I just wanna make sure it's evenly dispersed. All right, that is done. My pan. I've got a bread pan here. I just used a coconut spray, and it worked great. Came out super easy. And just to make it so I don't have to fight with it, I went ahead and put a piece of parchment in there as well. And it literally just lifted out kind of jumped out by itself, actually. 1 prepared pan and some smoke. And let's see. We are going to go to filling it. This is what I need. I've also made up some cinnamon sugar, and I'm gonna show you where we're gonna use that. So I'm gonna fill the pan with about half of the batter now. And I did say make this a double recipe, right? It's gonna be gone pretty quickly. All right, now the cream cheese. You have your choice. You can dot it. I also like one straight line, and I've got it room temperature so I can work with it. And this part is a little messy. You can alternatively put it in a pastry bag and pipe it out as well. And I've got about 4 ounces, and you can use more if you like. 4 ounces is about half of that little rectangle. Yum. And we're gonna swirl this in anyhow. Yum, yum, yum. I think I'm going for one straight line on this one, sorta. Oop. I'm saving one in my hand. Okay. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of the cinnamon sugar over that, and I'm going to add the rest of the pumpkin bread batter. And, you know, like I said, you don't have to make that pumpkin butter, but let me just say that it is a unique flavor. And talk about all pumpkin. This is 100% homemade, and you see how easy it is. So this is something for the holidays. Heck, I mean, it should be something for all the time, right? All right, so I'm kind of spread this around a little. Sorry, couldn't help it. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit more cinnamon sugar here on the top, and I'm going to try to swirl cream cheese. My first one, I just kind of dotted it. It's still wonderful, it's still great. But as long as your cream cheese is room temperature, you should be able to swirl it with no problem. As I'm doing here. This is so good. We're gonna throw in the oven at 350 degrees for, mine was exactly 50 minutes. I don't know if you check the temperature of your oven. You should every once in a while, just buy an oven temperature or thermostat and put it in there and just check and make sure. And, oh, that looks good. Make sure my cream cheese is evenly distributed. All right. No apologies, it's so good. I'm gonna do a little bit of sugar, cinnamon sugar on top. And that is ready to go, guys. In the oven, 350 degrees, 50 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 50 minutes. This pumpkin butter, I'm listing all the ingredients in the description. It's super easy to make. It keeps in the fridge for up to like 3 months. It's so good. I want to take a bite, but not that much. Yum. But this, let's talk about this. This one I made gluten-free, and you see the texture of it is wonderful. And as always, a bite for you and a bite for me. It's so good. The cinnamon, all the pumpkin together, it just layered all these different flavors to it. Man, it's really good. I hope you try it. If you do, let me know. My name is Dina Mitchell. Thanks for watching my pretend cooking show. Please like and subscribe. Ciao, guys.